Let's begin with our ingredients. I have 1.5 cups of toasted and ground rice, 4 cups of cooked chicken, diced, 6 cups of chicken broth, and for the aromatics I have 3 cloves of garlic, crushed and minced, half of an onion, 2 celery stalks, and a 1/4 cup of sweet bell pepper, all finely diced. I have 3 heaping tablespoons of powdered achiote dissolved in water, salt and pepper to taste, and red hot chili peppers. Put as much to your liking. All right, let's get cooking. We're going to start with a little bit of salad oil, just enough to saute the aromatics. We have onion, garlic, celery, and bell pepper. We want to saute this just enough to get it to sweat, not necessarily brown it. When you start to see the vegetables getting a little translucent, you know you're getting close. As it starts to sweat, as in the word sweat, you'll start to see just a little bit of moisture forming there on the pan. Since my chicken is already pre-cooked, I will not be adding it until towards the end. I don't want the chicken to start falling apart and getting stringy. Looks like we're ready for our chicken broth. We are going to bring this to a boil. Our chicken broth is starting its rapid boil. Let's go ahead and give the broth a quick taste. Since I used chicken broth, it has a little salt in it, so we don't want to put too much. It's going to need just a little bit. And then some black pepper. Don't put too much, you can always add more, but you can't take away. Now we've got this at a rapid boil. I'm going to reduce it down to medium. I am going to get our achiote solution in there. Give it a little whisk. Now we're ready to add the toasted ground rice. Don't dump it in all at once. You want to put a little at a time. Because the rice has been toasted, it doesn't require too much hard whisking to prevent lumps. As you can see, it is starting to thicken. We are going to go ahead and add our chicken. And we are going to gently fold it in. We are going to give it a quick taste. perfect. Doesn't need any more salt, black pepper, or hot pepper. And the rice is done. We're gonna turn it off and set it aside. As it cools, it will thicken. I have transferred the Chalakilis into a shallow Pyrex. We're going to allow this to cool. As it cools, it will continue to thicken, and we'll just set this aside while we work on the dough. So we are ready to get started on our dough. We have here mozzarella, achiote powder, cornstarch, salt, and coconut oil. I will begin first by incorporating all these dry ingredients together. I will be using water instead of chicken broth, so that's why I added the salt. If you're using chicken broth and it's already seasoned with salt, you might not want to add additional salt. Now I am going to add the coconut oil. You can use regular salad oil or lard, whatever your preference is. I personally love the aroma of the coconut oil. When you add cornstarch to your mozzarella for your empanada shell, between that and the oil, it helps get a crispier empanada shell. Now I will slowly add the water in. You do not want to add too much water all at once. Almost one big bowl. So I'm going to start by grabbing about that much and roll it into a bowl. Everybody's hand's different. I find that my grab works out perfectly, the size that our family likes. We don't like our empanadas too jumbo, and we don't want them too small. So a little bigger than a golf ball. So we are going to start by placing our parchment paper down. Put that right there on the center. Place one on the top. Bring this down. And voila. We're going to go ahead and do a couple here, and then we'll start folding. There we go. So let's go ahead and set this aside. So let's get ready to fold some empanadas. You are going to hold the disc squarely on your palm. Center your filling. You don't want to fill it too much because you want to be able to seal it very well. You start by bringing up the middle, press lightly, and then start on your corner, working one side first. Start pinching, moving up to your center. Hold it like a cone so that the filling stays in, and start pinching until you can completely seal it. And there you go. Now, we're going to place them standing up like that. Lean it up against that guy there. And we will continue the process until we have filled our container. There we go. Center.
This is an environmental disaster. If you see dead fish and dead animals, you're not going to convince me that that water is healthy and that air is safe.
You're exactly right, Sean. I mean, this is a massive environmental disaster. That train was carrying a multitude of different chemicals. And one of
Again,
is vinyl chloride. And this is
pinch the middle.
What that means is it is known
Work your corner up to the top. Hold it up like a cone. Keep that filling in and continue to pinch until you have it completely sealed. And there you go. Another pretty empanada. Yep, we've got bubbles. We are ready to get our empanadas in. You want to be very careful when you rest them down so you don't bust them open. You can let them cool and the oil drip on a rack, or you can use a colander, whatever your preference is. Pretty. Look at that color. So we have our first batch fried. Listen to that. Crispy. I'm going to start with the ugly one. Listen to that. Crispy.
We would almost set a red line, like there's no way they could go past
Beautiful.
this, right?